Hey there, how's it going? My name is Nyogi. Do you know how to create this amazing text effect? You don't, do you? No, you don't, stop it. And that is exactly why you need to watch my video. So keep watching it until the end. And for this tutorial, I'm gonna be using this image. This is an image of an ice crystal that I captured myself. Yeah, a little bragging won't hurt anyone. So it will be available to download from the link in the description. And I'm also going to show this method using this image, and you can use any image that you want, but I'm just gonna use this image. So let's begin with this one. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna eliminate these hands because I don't want them. So for that I'm gonna use the crop tool, and I'm just gonna reduce the size a little bit. This is quite a big image, so I don't need to worry about losing quality. About this size is good. So click on this check icon and that will accept the changes. And as I zoom in, you can still see the details because, as I said, it's a big image. And why am I using this image? Because this image doesn't have much colors in it, mostly blue and white. It's not a problem if you have more than 2 colors, but it is always a good idea to limit the number of colors in a composition. So for this I'm gonna create a new document. So go to File and hit New, and I'm gonna use a full HD resolution document. I will keep the background color as white. Now hit Create, use the Move tool, and we will click and drag the image onto the next tab that we created and bring it to the canvas and just release, and that way we will bring the image into the newly created document. For now, let's hide this image, and now we need to create our main text. To do that, use the Type tool and click on the canvas and just typing something, anything. So I'm just gonna type something like crystals. So crystals all in cap, and maybe reduce the size a little bit to maybe 95. That looks great. And I'm going to press and hold the Control key to move this text around. Maybe I will just delete this S, I don't need it. Crystal is good. And now click on this check icon. Now select the Move tool and click on this icon, the icon with 3 dots, and I will change the Align to option to Canvas. And now, while we have the text layer selected, I can just align it to the center by clicking on the Align to Horizontal Centers and also the Vertical Center. And that way your text will be in perfect center of the canvas. Now what I'm going to do is take the image layer and put it on top of the text layer. Let's unhide it and let's reduce the opacity to about 70%. Or maybe 60%. That looks great. And I'm going to reduce the size this much. It may differ according to your image. Yeah, so this looks great. What I did was I intentionally placed the tip of the ice crystal on the letter T so that I can make that extrusion from the text effect, but I'm going to show you how to do it later. For now, just hit on this check icon to accept the changes, and let's increase the opacity back to 100. And now all you need to do is press and hold the Alt key and click in between the text and the image layer. Make sure the image layer is on the top and just click, and that way you will have a clipping mask based on the text layer. It already looks incredible, but I want to make that tip of the ice crystal extrude from the letter T, right? So for that, I'm going to copy the image layer by selecting the image layer first, and then I'm going to press Ctrl+J. And now I'm going to reduce the opacity again by 70%. Make sure you're able to see the text and the image properly. And now what I'm going to do is use the polygonal lasso tool to select the tip of the ice crystal. Once you're inside the text, you don't need to worry too much about the selection. Just complete the loop. And now what I'm going to do is click on this mask icon, and that way only the tip of the ice crystal that we had selected will be visible and the rest of it will be hidden. It won't be destroyed, it will just be hidden. Now increase the opacity back to 100, and now look at the text. Looks incredibly good, right? Now the amazing thing about this effect is that you can manipulate the text even after you have applied the effect. To show you, I'm just gonna use the Type tool to click on the text, and now I can just change the text to whatever I want. but remember the text extrusion effect that we created won't align properly. So make sure you do it in the very end of this process. Now to go even further, you can just add some effects onto the text layer by clicking on this icon, and I will maybe use a drop shadow on it, and a very light, very subtle drop shadow will look good. Maybe I will change the angle and I will increase the distance, maybe decrease the size a little bit and reduce the opacity. That looks good to me. Hit OK, and that way you have your text effect ready. Now I'm going to show you the exact same method but using a different image. So for that I'm going to create a new document and the same full HD resolution, keep the background as white and hit create. Now let's bring this image onto the newly created document. Use the move tool, click and drag and take it to the new tab and release. Let's scale it down. Click on this check icon to accept the changes. Now create a text layer using the type tool. So let's just type in something like paint. Press and hold the control key to align it to the center of the canvas, and then hit on this check icon. Now again, make sure the image layer is on top of the text layer, and all you need to do is press and hold the alt key and press in between the text and image layer. Now for this one, the image and the background is almost identical, so the text itself isn't quite visible. So I'm going to use a gradient tool on the background layer, and now you can click on this color bar to modify the gradient itself. Now you can choose any gradient you want from the presets. I'm going to use a purple color, maybe purple 1. Yeah, that looks great. Hit OK, and now I'm going to click and drag diagonally and just release it. Maybe put a drop shadow on it by clicking on this icon, choosing drop shadow, maybe change the angle a little bit and hit OK, and that looks great. So this is all I wanted to show you for this tutorial. If you learned anything from this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm going to be uploading many tutorials in the future. And if you enjoyed it, click on that like button and share it with your friends. This is me, Neogi, signing off, and I will see you in the next video.